to you. Now, this is Boxing Lowdown, and I'm back here with another video. Now, this is my post-fight review to Artur Beterbiev against Alexander Gvozdyk, which took place last night in Philadelphia. The IBF and WBC light heavyweight titles were on the line. Unification fight, two unbeaten world champions, a fight that we all wanted to see. Now, Artur Beterbiev wins the WBC title to add to his IBF title by stopping Gvozdyk in the 10th round. Now, I watched this fight, I stayed up to watch it, and you know, I was very impressed with Beterbiev's body language. Let's just say that first of all, going in. He had the look of a man in that ring as somebody that, you know, knew he was going to win no matter what Gvozdyk threw at him. And, you know, it was picked up by a few people. It's been picked up by, you know, the commentators that were on ESPN, because I watched that broadcast. Andre Ward and Timothy Bradley picked up on it. And Beterbiev just had the look of a man that knew he was going to win. Now, I knew that these guys fought in the amateurs before. I think Beterbiev beat Gvozdyk in that one. It was around 10 years ago. They brought that up on the broadcast as well. But he just had the look of a man who knew he was going to win, no matter what Gvozdyk threw. And it doesn't really tell the pattern of the whole fight, because it was competitive throughout. Gvozdyk did win the early rounds, in my opinion. He was beating Beterbiev to the punch, but it was not a lot in it, to be honest. I mean, I didn't think that Gvozdyk was dominating by any means, but he was definitely landing on Beterbiev. But I think it was more, you know, like, it wasn't with that much authority to, you know, make Beterbiev think too much about coming in. It didn't stop him in his tracks. He had the look of a man that was going to go in there, and he knew what he needed to do. He stuck to his game plan, and he broke Gvozdyk down. Like, he broke him down, and then towards the later rounds it showed. But I think going in, I mean, Gvozdyk, like, he was kind of bullied in there up close at times. At the end of the first round, he was dragged to the floor. The referee incorrectly ruled it a knockdown, but luckily, like, the commission that was at ringside overruled that and then said it wasn't a knockdown, so it wouldn't have been a 10-8 round for Beterbiev, which wouldn't have been justified because Gvozdyk was winning that round anyway. But yeah, it was good to see the commission step in and say, no, we've checked this out in the replay, this isn't a knockdown, we're going to overrule it. So the judges had to score the round as they saw it, and I think most of us would agree that Gvozdyk won that opening round. But as the fight developed, you know, Beterbiev, he was getting beaten to the punch at times, but he was still landing punches of his own. Like, the punch stats throughout the fight, there was barely anything in it. And I think Beterbiev took control, in my opinion. I think he took control relatively early. He was, like I said, there wasn't much in the punches. Like, the punch stats wasn't... I think Beterbiev overtook Gvozdyk eventually, but there wasn't much in the punch stats, even when Gvozdyk appeared to be on top. So he was a lot more economical. He wasn't throwing as many punches as Gvozdyk was. And Gvozdyk, yeah, his body language just wasn't the same compared to Beterbiev in there. Beterbiev looked like a man, like I said, he knew what he was going to do, knew that he was going to win. And maybe it was just the confidence from their first meeting in the amateurs. But I think Beterbiev just has that aura about him anyway, where whoever he gets in the ring with, he just feels like he's going to win. He knows what he needs to do. Nothing will put him off. And we saw that last night. I mean, we saw that against Gvozdyk, man. And a lot of people, including myself, I thought that Gvozdyk might nick it. I wasn't sure, but I did think Gvozdyk would probably nick it. But Beterbiev, man, he's relentless. And somebody in my comment section highlighted that it's going to take a lot to stop Beterbiev marching forward and breaking you down. And that's what he did. You know, he would just march forward and he broke down Gvozdyk. Like, towards the end of the fight now, going into the later rounds, I had Beterbiev winning it. And yeah, he just he was hitting Gvozdyk with body shots that were really hurting him. They were crippling him at times, and you could see in his face, you know, boxers are supposed to really try and hide any pain that they suffer from a body shot, even though it's easier said than done. But Beterbiev started crippling Gvozdyk to the body, and you could saw the pain in his face. And there was one moment as well, I don't know if it was around 9 or around 10, but there was one moment when Beterbiev landed a perfectly legitimate body shot, and Gvozdyk literally turned around. And, you know, he turned around and, like, indicated to his corner that it was, like, an illegal punch, which, upon closer inspection, it wasn't. You know, it was a perfectly legitimate body shot. And he was, from then on, he was pretty much done. I think Beterbiev could see it in his body language that he was done. And he just went on to dominate. He had a very strong round 9. And in the 10th round, I mean, he dropped Gvozdyk with, like, he landed, like, successive right hands. And then he basically bludgeoned Gvozdyk down to the canvas, and then the writing was on the wall after that. I mean, Beterbiev just, like, swarmed all over him, dropped him down a further 2 times, and the referee ended up stopping the fight. So a massive win for Artur Beterbiev. He's now the IBF and the WBC light heavyweight champion. He's going to be looked at now as the #1 guy in the division, I'd say, most likely, considering that he's beaten Gvozdyk now. Gvozdyk was also the lineal champion. So yeah, Beterbiev will probably be looked at as the guy now. Kovalev, he's going to be facing Canelo, as we know, in a couple of weeks. That's actually creeping up on us, by the way. Like, that will be around in no time, literally. And we've also got Dmitry Bivol, who really, I think, needs to probably get out of the zone if he's not going to get these fights. Because when you look at it, everybody's over at ESPN Top Rank. You've got Beterbiev, you've got Gvozdyk fighting on there. Kovalev fights on ESPN. So, yeah, I mean, it's really, Bivol needs to make a decision. If he's not getting these fights, then he may have to go over there to start unifying those titles. But yeah, I think that Beterbiev now is going to be, who's really going to want to fight him? I mean, there will be 2 belts at stake, so he shouldn't be short of challengers. But one of the world champions, are they going to want to get in there with him? If Kovalev, whatever happens with Kovalev after Canelo, we know Canelo's not going to stay at light heavyweight. Like, what's going to happen with that title then? Who'll be able to compete for it if Canelo if he wins, like, where would that title go? Like, we don't even know if that's on the line, actually, thinking about it. But I'm sure it will be, actually. But then with, you've got, like I said, Bivol as well. He fought last week. So he was okay in that fight. It wasn't a very entertaining fight. But yeah, we want to see more of these fights happen in the light heavyweight division. Light heavyweight, like I said for loads of times now, is a very strong division. Very deep in terms of the talent. And these guys are all beasts up there, man. Like, Gvozdyk can come back from this as well. And, they're the up-and-comers as well. You've got the likes of Yard and Joshua Buatsi and, like, Callum Johnson still mixing in there. Like, light heavyweight is strong. So, yeah, Artur Beterbiev currently right now, he's going to be looked at as probably the number 1, considering that Kovalev is out of his prime now. Bivol hasn't fought the competition that Beterbiev has had. So, yeah, I'd say that Beterbiev will probably be looked at as the number 1 guy. And hopefully we get to see more of these type of fights soon, because even though, like, Beterbiev was, like, he was dominant towards the end, it was a very good up and down battle. Like, Gvozdyk was in there, he was landing punches, and it also should be noted that he was up on 2 of the 3 judges' scorecards. So make of that what you will. But listen, let me know your thoughts on the fight anyway. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. That's my post-fight review for this one. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. It should be on YouTube by now. So let me know your thoughts on the fight and who you'd like to see Beterbiev in with next, and what you'd like to see for Gvozdyk next. Thank you very much, guys. I'll catch you all in the next one.